everyone. Welcome back to Sisters for Financial Independence, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Catherine John, and here at Sisters for Fi, we help you manage your money better so that you can live a life of impact today and tomorrow. In this video, we are going to talk about some money challenges you can do for the new year. Now, I personally love challenges, especially monthly challenges, because they allow me to get out of my comfort zone, they allow me to learn something new, and they allow me to try something I probably would never do. And I think in this day and age, it's good to be open to change, to challenges, so that we can learn more and we can challenge ourselves to do better. The beginning of the year is normally when many of us make our resolutions. The problem is that by February, many of us have forgotten our resolutions or have completely given up on it. And for those with money goals, it's mostly due to a few things. The first is not being clear enough about what your goals are. And a great thing to do for the year 2022 when it comes to goals in general is to use the SMART method for your money goals. SMART is SMART, and the S stands for having a very specific goal. M is a goal that's measurable. A is for something that's appropriate and attainable. R is something that's realistic and relevant to your own goals and needs. And T is time bound, putting in a time restriction for your goals so you know you have limits. An example of this is the goal to save more money. Now, those words alone are very, very generic. They don't require you to do much work. So what you might want to do is put that goal into the SMART method. So what you might want to do is get specific. How much money do you want to save this year? It could be $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. Make that goal specific. One is make sure it's a goal that's measurable. And this is certainly a goal that's measurable. If you count your dollars, you can measure how much you save. A is something that's appropriate and attainable. And for us, it might not be appropriate and attainable to say, I want to save $100,000 when we are not making that much money. So we just want to be a little realistic about that so that we put in the right goal. R is to put something that's relevant. Of course, I think saving money is relevant for all of us, but perhaps for you this year, it's more relevant than ever because you are saving for something. So attach a relevancy to why you're saving money so that you can focus you and your money. And of course, time bound. What is the time frame you want to finish this goal? Is it within a month, 6 months, or the year, so that you can track progress and put your action items on a timeline, because there's easier to do when you know you have a deadline and a goal to reach. I mentioned before that I absolutely love monthly challenges, and I even documented some of them on Instagram. So if you want to take a look or want to try a different challenge, feel free to browse there and see if there's anything that resonates with you. Now, on to the list of monthly challenges you can do for the year 2022 and beyond. I will caveat that some of these challenges focus strictly on money, but also many focus on behaviors and mindset. Because at the end of the day, while money is a big part of what we want to accomplish, what we want to save for, it's really all about looking at our actions, reflecting on what we're doing to ensure that we are saving what we want for the life that we want. This first challenge is called the MINS Game. And the MINS Game was created and popularized by the minimalists. And the goal of this game is to help you declutter. And it can help you understand where your money is going and how to better change your behaviors for the future to not only reduce clutter but save you money. One thing that we don't realize is that all the clutter in our home was once money and was once time. Keep that in mind when you look at the stuff in your house. house is that you exchanged your time for money within your job, and you exchanged that money for stuff. And whether you're using that stuff or it's just laying around, some of it may be wasted. So the Women's Game helps you create a clearer home and provide you really a view into your spending actions and habits and make those changes. Here's how the game works. The goal is to get rid of items corresponding to the day. So for the first day, you would get rid of one item. Second day, you would get rid of 2 items. And on the third day, you would get rid of 3 items. Now, you would do that for the rest of the month. Again, this is a monthly challenge, so stick to 30, 31 days, depending on which one you choose to do this. The first week will be fairly easy because you're getting rid of small things. But as the weeks progress and the days get larger, you'll have to get rid of more things. And many people may find this a little bit concerning to have to remove 20, 25 items from your home in one day. Now, this is also an exercise in letting go, in also assessing if what you have in your home is really useful to you or if it's being used up. As you get rid of these items, I encourage you to dispose of these items properly. Perhaps you will hand it down to family or friends. Perhaps you might find someone who is in need of what you're giving. Look at your local shelters, churches, see if there is buy nothing groups within Facebook or your local community that you can pass on these items. Majority of Americans live in a home with an overabundance of possessions. And as I mentioned before, some of these possessions go unused and really become wasted money in the end. So discard responsibly as you go through the days and weeks of this challenge. I will, of course, link the formal rules of this game/challenge in the description so you can read more about it. But the goal of this challenge is to really understand what's in your home. Do you need it? Is it useful? And how can you change your habits moving forward to not only reduce the clutter, but save you money in the end? The next challenge is to set up a goal to earn some money selling things online. Now, the first challenge before asked you to get rid of things. Now, what you can also do instead of just donating those items is to see if anyone would buy it. And there's definitely places for you to sell many of these items, from Facebook, Poshmark, eBay, to just your local communities. And what you want to do with this challenge is to set a goal. How much do you want to earn from selling stuff online? And I'm specifically moving towards online because online has a very rich community and it's fairly easy to sell items online. And your goal will be to figure out what kind of things you can sell online, figure out the amount that you want to reach, but before you even earn that money, I also want you to think about what are you going to do with your money. So for example, if you are going to say, I am going to challenge myself to sell $200 worth of my clutter or stuff online, and I am going to use that $200 for a few things. $100 maybe to go towards debt, maybe $50 will go towards a new item, and $50 towards something else. If you're going to work through this, I really encourage you to also have a plan for the money you earn so that it doesn't go back to that cycle of I'm going to spend it on things I'm not going to remember on. The challenge will be to sell stuff online, but also make a commitment to use that money for something worthwhile to you. This next challenge is very popular in the FIRE community, and it speaks to the frugality of part of the FIRE movement, and it's all about a no spend month. Now, you're allowed to spend money, but what you have to do is be very intentional with how you budget and spend money for the month. So prior to the start of the month, what you may want to do is look back at some of your credit and debit statements and understand where you're spending the most money and create a budget for yourself to only pay for the basics, meaning you might food, shelter, medication, certain things that you know you'll need to survive that month. For many people, this might removing a lot of the expenses like going out, perhaps entertainment. So what you need to do in this month is to be very open about doing stuff for free and challenging yourself to think outside the box so that you are not spending money on the non-essentials. Keep in mind that when you do a no spend month, you define your own parameters. So you don't have to follow someone else's rules. You have to make the rules that fit your life and you have to follow them. And again, it's a monthly challenge, so at most you'll be doing it for 31 days, and that's really a small percentage when compared to the entire year. So be diligent about what kind of rules you want to put in place for yourself. Make sure you stick to them, both as a way to show that you're motivated, but both because it's really a short challenge that you can do and be successful in. I think similar to the other challenge, it's also important that you decide that whatever money you save, where will it go? Will it go towards paying debt? Will it go towards putting it towards a travel trip fund that you have? Again, be intentional with what you're spending money on, but be intentional too with why you're saving and where that savings will go to. This next challenge is all about saving money. And the challenge is to save $5 a day for a month. Now, many people will balk at this idea and say, oh, that's a lot of money. But look at it under reverse. If you spend $5 a day on something, perhaps a latte, cigarettes, bottled water, takeout, that money adds up. So what you're just going to do is reverse the challenge, and you are going to move your spending, instead of spending it, to saving that. Now you can do it automatically using like an automated bank transfer process, or you can actually do cash and put $5 a day in an envelope for the entire month. Again, it's 31 days, so it's a short challenge, but what you need to do is be intentional with how you're shifting some of your spending to saving. We need to figure out where some of our small spending is, because those can add up. So think about your small subscriptions that are automatic, those Apple apps charges that you have on your phone. Review some of those statements so that you can shift from spending $5 a day to saving $5 a day. This next challenge is all about saving food and saving money. Based on statistics from Save the Food and the Out Council, the average American family of 4 actually wastes $1,500 a year on food alone. Now, if you're single or live with a few roommates, think about what goes in your trash. Those leftover salads, leftover takeouts, how much money did they cost you? And how much money is that going in the waste? So for this challenge, you are going to do a pantry / cupboard / fridge challenge to really empty out those pantry staples, your cupboards, and eat up as much as you can that's in your home. I think many of us sometimes make decisions to eat out because it's the most convenient thing to do, and I totally get it. I've done that. Sometimes takeout is just easier when you're tired from work and you have so many other things to do. But I really encourage you with this challenge, again, for the 1 month, is to use up what's in your cupboard. Plan ahead. Perhaps what you want to do is create meals from what's already inside your pantries. If it's easier for you, put them all out. Create a system where you put all of your ingredients already into perhaps a small bowl so that you know that you'll be using those up for the week. You can also create what's called an Eat Me First bin or box, where you can signal to the family that you must eat these first before anything else in the cupboard so that they don't go bad or expire. With this challenge, you'll have to get a little bit creative. You might have to get your family involved. You might have to get your roommates involved to be part of this challenge, to eat up what you have and save money in the end. The next challenge is to search for things that are fun and free in your neighborhood and community. And sometimes we really have to think outside the box when we want to do something to create an experience activity for ourselves, our families, or with a spouse or partner. So, for this challenge, I encourage you to find things that are fun and free locally. Hit up your library to see if there's some things you can do. Hit up your local colleges and universities. They might offer free movies, free lectures that you can attend. You can also head to meetup.com or Eventbrite and find things in your community that you can do. Allows you to meet people and also get outside the home at a fairly low cost. To ensure that your friends are down with this, I would also encourage you to send out an email to family and friends letting them know of your challenge for the month. This will ensure that when you say no to an event, they understand why. It might also be a great way to crowdsource some free things. Perhaps some of your friends know of local concerts happening, and they can invite you to those events. And it's a great way for you to connect with other people without spending a lot of money. Use your skills to earn more money. And many of us have a lot of skills that people would offer maybe to trade or to pay for, and it's time for us to use some of those skills to earn a little income. So this challenge for this month is to sell your skills, and what you'll need to do is probably do an exercise to jot down your skills, or perhaps you look to see what you help your friends with. It may be from tech review, you might be doing a resume review, you might be doing a lot more cooking for friends. Let's see if some of those skills that you have can translate into earned income, even if temporarily. Many of us kind of fear going out doing some freelancing work because we feel like we don't have enough, we are not an expert in it, but there will be some people who will be willing to pay for what you know today. So take advantage of that. One thing that I also recommend is to keep things simple. Now, if you're going to sell your services and this is only for the month, you don't need a logo, you don't need a website, you don't need all of those things. It's really when you start ramping up your skill service, your product line, that you need to start getting into the nitty gritty of marketing and all of that. So in this case, just figure out if there's someone who might need your service, create an hourly rate, do a commitment to do, if you want to just do a sample of it, a few hours of work, so that you can get started and earn a little bit of income. Here's some examples of things you might want to do. One, if you are a great organizer, you might want to offer a service for organizing someone's home, basement, or especially if you have an older parent, older relative who could use that help to declutter their home before they sell it. You could do that. You can also perhaps go on Fiverr and offer some of your skills. If you're an architect, there's certainly some areas for you to do some space planning projects for other people. That could be an interesting way to make a little bit extra money on the side using some of your skills. If you have an ebook ready, you can go to Kindle Direct Publishing and publish your book there. Again, there's so many other things that you can look for. Do not be afraid to get your skills, even if you're not a master and expert at it, because there's definitely someone who'll be willing to pay you for what you're good at today. And don't worry if you have a logo, if everything else, just start with what you have. See what you can do for the hourly rate, or maybe for like a quick assignment or a project that you can do. And a lot of this too is to really exercise some of your other skills, so that you can branch out perhaps or gain new knowledge in other areas. Again, it's only for the month too, so if you feel like this is not for me, then you can always do another challenge the next month or pursue something else after that. Your next challenge is all about waste, and it's actually all about being mindful of what you throw out. So for a month, what I'm going to encourage you to do is do a waste audit. See what you're putting into your trash cans, your waste bins, your garbage bins. How can you reduce the waste that goes there? A big part of this is to ensure that what you were buying, you're actually using up. And two, you're also again being mindful of where your money is going and that you are using all of those resources properly. Now, a waste audit is fairly easy to do. You basically have to look at your trash to figure out what's in there. If you are throwing out food, then that's an area you might want to look into and cut down on, and perhaps figure out ways to reduce that food waste. If you are donating a lot of things, sometimes we think that when we're donating, it's good, but a lot of times some of our donations actually ends up in the landfill and the trash. So if you're donating often, look to see what you're donating often and how you can cut that down. Is it a lot of clothes? Is it because it's fast fashion clothing that is generally made a little bit less with less quality? How can you improve those types of wardrobe decisions for yourself so you're not doing that and you're saving money in the long term? Your last money challenge that you might want to take on for 2022 is to create and start a savings club with friends. Now, how this works is you get one or two, maybe or three friends to be an accountability group to help save money together. So you would come up with a goal as a group that you want to save $600 each or $1,000 each, and use each other as partners to ensure you're actually doing and accomplishing that goal. I'd love to know if any of these challenges resonate with you. Have you done the no spend challenge? How was your experience with it? What would you like to share with others about that? Please leave it in the comments, let me know, and I will see you in the next video, which will drop next Thursday. And again, if this video has been helpful for you, I would appreciate it if you give it a like and subscribe to Sisters for Fi, where we provide you money lessons and help you manage your money better so that you can live a life of impact today and tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.